You have a mascara in your bag right now. You have probably been using it for years. You apply it every morning without thinking about it. The same way you brush your teeth. It is just part of the routine. And 88% of the mascaras that tested positive for forever chemicals did not list a single PFAS ingredient on the label. You cannot read what they do not disclose. A university lab tested 231 makeup products. They found PFAS, chemicals that do not break down in the environment and do not break down in your body, in 82% of waterproof mascaras tested. These chemicals are associated with thyroid disease, immune suppression, and certain cancers. They accumulate in your organs year after year. The brands selling them decided you did not need to know. Here's the context that makes this worse. The European Union restricts or bans over 1,600 ingredients in cosmetics. The United States has banned 11. France banned PFAS in cosmetics effective January 2026. The FDA stated they have insufficient data to regulate them federally. Insufficient data. 82% of waterproof mascaras. 7 mascaras with documented ingredient or safety concerns. 3 that passed. No sponsorships. No brand deals. Just research. Let's get into it. Starting at number 7. Essence Lash Princess. 5 million tubes sold. Under $5. TikTok's most recommended drugstore mascara. The ingredient concern starts with the preservative system. EWG's Skin Deep database, a publicly accessible ingredient safety resource that cross-references published research, flags several preservatives commonly found in budget mascaras for skin sensitization and potential formaldehyde release concerns. Budget formulas rely on lower-cost preservation systems, and the shelf stability issues users report with Lash Princess are a sign of a preservation system under strain. The performance creates a secondary safety concern. This mascara flakes. Tiny black particles fall from your lashes throughout the day. Those particles fall into your eyes. Your eye is lined by a mucous membrane, tissue that absorbs compounds at significantly higher rates than regular skin. Flaking mascara is not just an aesthetic problem. It is a daily delivery route for whatever is in that formula. I want to be transparent. Not everyone experiences significant flaking. If you have dry eyelids and only need a couple of hours of wear, this mascara may perform fine for you. But the preservative profile and the flaking risk are worth knowing before you use it daily. Flaking particles into your eyes every morning. The next one has been a bestseller for decades and sells a cleaner formula in Europe that it does not offer here. Number 6. Maybelline Great Lash, the pink and green tube, a bestseller for decades. And most versions contain methylparaben and propylparaben as preservatives. Parabens are synthetic preservatives that the EU has restricted in certain leave-on cosmetics. A 2004 study published in the Journal of Applied Toxicology detected parabens in human breast tissue, confirming they absorb through the skin and accumulate in the body. They do not just sit on the surface, they go somewhere. The specific concern with mascara is where it is applied. The skin around your eyes is the thinnest on your entire body. Dermatologists confirm that absorption here is higher than almost anywhere else on your face. Parabens applied daily to that area, year after year, are exactly the cumulative exposure pattern that researchers flag as worthy of caution. The EU has restricted propyl and butylparaben in certain leave-on cosmetics. Maybelline has reformulated for European markets where regulations required it. The formula you are buying in an American drugstore was a choice. I want to be transparent. Parabens at low concentrations in a single product are unlikely to cause immediate harm. The concern is the pattern. Mascara every morning, moisturizer, serum, body lotion. The same preservatives compounding across your entire routine every day. Parabens near the most permeable skin on your face. The next one adds a fragrance loophole on top, applied to the same area every morning, with zero disclosure of what is inside it. Number 5. L'Oreal Telescopic Lift, the mascara that went viral. The mascara that sparked Mascaragate, when multiple content creators were found to be wearing false lashes while demonstrating it. That is a separate issue. The ingredient concern is more relevant here. This mascara contains synthetic fragrance. One word on a label that legally hides dozens of individual chemicals that companies are not required to disclose in the United States. You cannot look them up. You cannot assess them. You cannot choose to avoid specific ones. They are hidden behind a single word. The EU requires individual disclosure of 26 specific fragrance allergens above certain concentration thresholds. American consumers get one word. European consumers get a list. Fragrance near your eyes serves zero functional purpose. It does not improve wear. It does not improve application. It is there for the sensory experience, and it is the leading cause of cosmetic contact dermatitis. Red, itchy, watering eyelids that many users blame on sensitivity without ever connecting it to the undisclosed fragrance compounds in their mascara. I want to be transparent. Not everyone reacts to fragrance compounds, but applying an undisclosed chemical blend to the skin immediately surrounding your eyeball every morning is a risk that delivers no benefit. There is no functional reason for fragrance in mascara. Its presence is a choice. If you are learning something new right now, hit like so more people can find this research. The next ones get worse. Number 4. Benefit Roller Lash, $25, prestige pricing, and a removal process that creates a nightly absorption event from the most permeable skin on your face. Roller Lash contains synthetic fragrance, the same undisclosed trade secret loophole as the L'Oreal mascara. No individual compounds disclosed. No allergen list. Just the word fragrance applied daily to thin eyelid skin. But the specific problem with Roller Lash is removal. The formula clings so tightly that many users require dedicated oil-based removers or aggressive rubbing to break it down. The eyelid skin is the thinnest skin on your body. Every aggressive removal session, friction, oil-based solvents, pulling, is a permeability event. Whatever is in the formula and whatever is in the remover has easier access to your body through irritated, disrupted skin. Dermatologists specifically warn about premature wrinkling and lash loss from nightly mascara removal friction. Anyone whose lashes are naturally becoming more fragile, and that process accelerates with age, is compounding that damage with every aggressive removal session. I want to be transparent. The curl effect is real and many users value it. The concern is not one removal session. The concern is 5 years of nightly removal of a formula with undisclosed fragrance compounds from the most permeable skin on your face. Nightly aggressive removal from thin eyelid skin. The next one adds flaking to the equation, and those particles fall somewhere specific. Number 3. Too Faced Better Than Sex. One of the best-selling prestige mascaras of all time, $29, and it contains synthetic fragrance with no individual disclosure. Same trade secret loophole. Same undisclosed chemical blend applied millimeters from your eyeballs every morning. No functional reason for it to be there. The EU would require disclosure of individual allergens above threshold. The US does not. The specific concern with Better Than Sex is what happens after application. The formula flakes. Within 2 to 4 hours, tiny black particles drop onto your cheeks and migrate toward your eyes. Those are not just cosmetic particles. They are formula particles, containing whatever compounds are in that mascara, including the undisclosed fragrance blend, falling directly toward your eye's mucous membrane. Absorption through mucous membrane tissue is significantly higher than through regular skin. The particles that reach your eye's inner surface interact with your tear film and the delicate tissue of your eyelid lining. This is a documented exposure route, not a theoretical one. I want to be transparent. If you are doing a photo shoot and need 2 hours of dramatic wear, this mascara photographs beautifully. For daily use, flaking formula particles migrating toward a mucous membrane is not a trade-off worth the look. Formula particles migrating toward your eye's mucous membrane. The next category is worse. The fibers are engineered to shed, and ophthalmologists have documented exactly what happens when they do. Number 2 is not a single brand. It is an entire technology, and ophthalmologists specifically warn against it. Fiber mascaras use tiny strands of rayon, silk, or nylon that physically attach to your lashes to extend them. Here is what happens when those fibers shed. And they do shed. They fall into your eye. They get trapped under your eyelid. And every time you blink, those fibers shift and migrate across your cornea. An inflammatory condition that ophthalmologists call giant papillary conjunctivitis, where the inside of your eyelid becomes permanently bumpy and irritated, is documented in fiber mascara users, particularly contact lens wearers. Ophthalmologists have also documented corneal abrasions from fiber mascaras, painful scratches on the clear front surface of your eye that can lead to infection if untreated. The chemical concern compounds this directly. Most fiber mascaras contain synthetic fragrance and conventional preservative systems. That means the undisclosed compounds we have discussed throughout this video are present in a formula specifically engineered to shed particles into your eyes. I want to be transparent. For a special occasion worn briefly without rubbing your eyes, the risk is lower. For daily use, you are applying a formula with undisclosed fragrance compounds that sheds particles directly onto your cornea. Ophthalmologists do not recommend it. Specific brands to be cautious with: Maybelline Falsies, certain versions of L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and any unbranded fiber formula at the drugstore. Important distinction: tubing mascaras are completely different technology. They wrap each lash in a polymer tube that slides off intact with warm water. No shedding, no particles. We will cover one shortly. If this research is changing how you look at your mascara, number 1 is the most important entry on this entire list. And it is not a single brand. Subscribe so you do not miss what comes after it. Number 1, not a single mascara, the entire waterproof category. The University of Notre Dame study tested 231 cosmetic products. They found PFAS, forever chemicals, in 82% of waterproof mascaras, and 88% of those products did not list a single PFAS ingredient on the label. You cannot avoid what you cannot see. PFAS do not break down in the environment. They do not break down in your body. They bioaccumulate, building up over years and decades. Research has associated PFAS exposure with thyroid disease, immune system suppression, and certain cancers including kidney and testicular. France banned PFAS in cosmetics effective January 2026. The FDA stated they have insufficient data to regulate them federally. Insufficient data. 82% of waterproof mascaras. Applied daily to the skin around your eyes. But PFAS is not the only problem with waterproof formulas. The chemistry that creates waterproof wear is extremely drying to your meibomian glands, the oil glands inside your eyelids that keep your eyes lubricated and your tear film stable. Chronic daily waterproof mascara use is associated with meibomian gland dysfunction, which is the leading cause of dry eye syndrome. Ophthalmologists specifically warn against daily waterproof mascara use for this reason. Once those glands are sufficiently damaged, the condition can become permanent. The removal process compounds everything. Waterproof mascara requires aggressive rubbing or harsh chemical removers every night. Both damage the thinnest skin on your body and contribute to lash loss over time. I want to be transparent. Waterproof mascara for a wedding, a swim meet, or a specific outdoor event where smudging is a real concern is probably fine. The problem is daily use. Years of PFAS accumulation, years of meibomian gland stress, years of aggressive nightly removal from thin eyelid skin. That is where the damage compounds into lasting harm. Before we get to the safe picks, if you want a complete reference for everything we cover on this channel, I put together a free checklist of 12 ingredients to watch for on any beauty product label tonight. Link is in the description. 7 mascaras. 7 different ways the formula, the technology, or the removal process may be working against your eye health. Now the good news. 3 mascaras that passed on all 3 criteria: ingredient transparency, daily performance, and long-term eye safety. While these formulas avoid the high concern ingredients we covered, everyone's eyes and skin sensitivity are different. If you have a history of eye reactions, talk to your ophthalmologist before switching products. Safe pick number 3, Clinique High Impact Mascara. Developed with dermatologist input. Allergy tested, ophthalmologist tested, and fragrance-free, which eliminates the single biggest source of undisclosed chemical compounds we covered throughout this video. What you see on the label is what is in the tube. No synthetic fragrance means no hidden allergens. No trade secret loophole applied to the skin surrounding your eyes. The formula delivers buildable length and volume without clumping or stiffness. Lashes stay soft and flexible throughout the day, which matters significantly for anyone whose lashes are naturally becoming more fragile. A rigid mascara causes micro-breakage with every blink. This one moves with your lashes rather than against them. I want to be transparent. This is not a high-volume, dramatic mascara. If you want bold, glam lashes, this is not the pick. But for reliable, fragrance-free daily wear that has been independently tested for eye safety, Clinique delivers consistently. At around $23, it costs less than the Benefit Roller Lash that requires aggressive nightly removal from thin eyelid skin. And it comes with an ophthalmologist-tested formulation that Benefit does not have. Fragrance-free, ophthalmologist-tested, gentle on fragile lashes. The next one solves the waterproof smudge problem without a single PFAS compound, at the same price as Better Than Sex. Safe pick number 2. Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. This mascara uses tubing technology, which is fundamentally different from both conventional mascaras and the fiber mascaras at number 2 on our avoid list. Instead of painting pigment onto your lashes that can flake off, or attaching fibers that shed particles into your eyes, tubing wraps each individual lash in a flexible polymer tube that locks into place. The tubes cannot smudge. They cannot transfer. They do not shed. And removal is the opposite of everything we have been discussing. Warm water causes the tubes to slide off your lashes intact. No rubbing. No oil-based removers. No nightly friction on the thinnest skin on your face. PFAS-free. No synthetic fragrance. No parabens. No formaldehyde releasers. The formula contains conditioning ingredients, castor oil, shea butter, vitamin B5, that support lash health rather than degrading it. Your lashes are being conditioned during every hour of wear instead of dried out by waterproof chemistry. I want to be transparent. Tubing mascaras provide more length than volume. If you want extremely fluffy, dramatic lashes, this formula may look too natural for you. But for daily wear with no PFAS, no fragrance loophole, no particles shedding toward your cornea, and a removal process that protects rather than damages, this is as close to a solved problem as mascara gets. At $32, it costs more than the Too Faced Better Than Sex. But it removes with warm water instead of aggressive rubbing, contains zero PFAS, no synthetic fragrance, and no particles shedding toward your cornea all day. Tubing technology, PFAS-free, removes with warm water. Number 1 is the only mascara on this list where we have no identified high-risk ingredients of concern. Safe pick number 1, Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. Ilia is a certified B Corporation. They ban PFAS, parabens, formaldehyde releasers, and synthetic fragrance from every product they make. Not some products, all of them. Their standards are published. Their ingredient lists are fully disclosed. What is on the label is what is in the tube. No fragrance trade secret. No PFAS. No parabens. No formaldehyde releasers. None of the ingredients we have discussed throughout this video are in this formula. The formula is 99% natural origin ingredients, verified against published standards, not just a marketing claim. It contains shea butter, beeswax, glycerin, arginine, and biotin, ingredients that nourish and strengthen lashes during wear. Instead of degrading your lashes over time the way waterproof formulas and fiber mascaras do, this one actively conditions them. Performance is where Ilia earns the top spot. The dual-sided wand delivers both volume and length. The formula builds without clumping. It lasts a full day without flaking, which means no particles migrating toward your eye's mucous membrane. Removal is effortless with warm water, safe for sensitive eyes and contact lens wearers. I want to be transparent. This mascara is not waterproof. If you need swim-proof or cry-proof wear for a specific event, Ilia will smudge in those conditions. For daily wear, it performs beautifully. At $29, it costs nearly the same as Better Than Sex, a mascara that flakes, contains undisclosed fragrance, and requires aggressive removal. For the same price, you get a fully disclosed formula with no high-risk compounds and removal that takes 15 seconds with warm water. 7 mascaras, preservatives that may release formaldehyde-related compounds. In a formula that flakes particles into your eyes, parabens restricted by the EU. Applied daily to the most permeable skin on your face. Synthetic fragrance hiding undisclosed compounds. Near your eyeballs with no disclosure required. A prestige formula you have to fight to remove. Making thin eyelid skin a nightly absorption event. Flaking particles containing undisclosed fragrance compounds. Migrating toward a mucous membrane. Fibers engineered to shed directly onto your cornea. And an entire waterproof category where 82% tested positive for forever chemicals. Most without listing a single one on the label. 3 alternatives with fully disclosed ingredient lists, no identified high-risk compounds, and removal processes that protect rather than damage. Every one of them cheaper than the prestige mascaras on the avoid list. Check your mascara tonight. Look for the word fragrance and ask what is behind it. Look for methylparaben or propylparaben. Look for PTFE or any ingredient starting with perfluoro. Those are PFAS. The label is on the tube right now. Now you know how to read it. Drop in the comments, which mascara are you currently using? Have you checked the label yet? Links to all 3 safe picks are in the description below. Subscribe. Next week, we are covering sunscreens. One of them absorbs into your bloodstream within hours of a single application, and it is in products marketed specifically for children.